Okay, everybody, we're going to be covering this paper here. It's the Edexcel 2023 May paper. It is paper 1. Okay, so let's start. I just want to note that the mark scheme isn't available anywhere. I've tried to look for it. It's not around. So if I do make mistakes, I do apologize. I am a student of mathematics, higher mathematics. I've studied mathematics to a degree level, so I should be generally reliable. I've also been tutoring maths for at least 4 or 5 years, so I should be okay. So we're just going to go through this paper, everybody. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you learn from it as well. Let's begin. So the first question is a typical question. It's a non-calculator paper, by the way. So when you get questions like this, right, and it's a non-calc paper, what do we do? Huh? This is paper 1, everybody. What do we do? So we've got 8.46 divided by 0.15. Okay? So what are we going to do? So the 8.46, I always like the fraction method, and I'm telling you, it's the best method. So what you do is you get 846 and you put it over 100. When you do that, what you're technically doing is just timesing the number by 100, and then you're dividing it by 100. And if you look, 846 divided by 100 does give you 8.46, doesn't it? So you've turned the first bit into a fraction, then you keep that divide there. And then 0.15 as a fraction is simply 15, also divided by 100. And then you use keep, change, flip. Okay, so you got keep, change, flip. Okay, keep, change, flip. So now you've simply got 846 times 100, which is just 846 with 2 extra zeros. And you got 100 times 15, which is just 15 with 2 extra zeros, right? So now you could cancel out these zeros. So what you technically have is 846 divided by 15. And this is much more manageable. How, Amal? How is it much more manageable? Well, watch this. You can use the bus stop method now. Put the 15 outside. How many 15s go into 84? Well, let's check. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 15s. What's left over? 9. So you put the 9 here. Then how many 15s go into 96? Well, 6. Right? And then what's left over? 6. So you need a decimal point there and a decimal point there because you've run out of numbers. And because it's after the decimal point, you're allowed to put 1 0. How many 50s go into 60? 4. So the final answer is 56.4. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's move on. Of course, you can use a calculator to check your work because, you know, you're not in a real test. But in the real test, you're not allowed your calculator. So you have to do what I've just done. Okay, everybody, you have question number 2. You can pause the video, have a go. Whenever you're ready for the answers, you can press play. So for these first few questions, my live class, I'm just going to be going through it quickly because these questions are fairly easy. Okay, so we got a mixed number and we need to turn this into a fraction. So remember, you got 7 and 3/8 minus 2 1/2. So you do 8 times 7, which is 56, and then you add the 3. So you get 59 over 8 minus 2 times 2, which is 4. Add the 1, you get 5. So you get 5 over 2. This is a hard paper, man. What is going on here? And then what you do is you do normal subtraction of fractions. So you put it over a common denominator, which is 8. And then you got 59. How many 8s go into 1? How many 8s go into 8? 1. So you do 59 times 1, which just gives you 59. Then how many 2s go into 8? 4. So you do 5 times 4, which gives you 20. So 59 minus 20 is 39 over 8. But they want it as a mixed number, right? So how many 8s go into 39? 4. What's left over? 6 over 8. But you need to simplify. So the final answer is 4. Oh, 7's left over. I do apologize. Thank you, Yusuf, my brother on the right. So 8 times 4 is 32. So 7 is left over. So you get 7 over 8, and that is the final answer. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's move on. Okay, everybody. So Now, in a cube, so for question number 3, you may pause the video and have a go. Whenever you're ready for the answers, you can press play. In a cube, right, you have to understand each face of a cube has 6 faces, and each face is a perfect square. And so when you're trying to work out the surface area of a square, when you're trying to find out the area of a square of one face, basically, of the cube, what do? You do x times x, right? Because it's a square, it's the same value. Let me just bring up a cube real quick so you guys can see. So I got this image from Math Monks, and to be honest, this ain't a very good image. We should get one that you can see the lines and the actual faces. So you see a cube has 6 faces, right? And you have to understand that each side of a cube, of the face of the cube, has the same dimensions. Why? Because they're all made out of squares. So if this is x, this will be x. Now, how do you work out the surface area of a cube? Well, you get the area of one face and you just times it by 6 faces. So the area of one face will be x times x, which is x squared. And then you just have to times that by 6. And once you do that, you get the whole surface area, which is 150. Right? So 6 times x squared will give you 6x squared. Now it's just a case of solving this. So you divide both sides by 6. And I need to do this slowly, don't I? So I'm going to give me 1 second, guys. I just have to. So I'm going to divide both sides by 6. So I'm going to be left with x squared equals 150 divided by 6, which is 25. Sorry. And then to get x, you square root both sides. So x will equal 5. And the reason why, because I know when you square root a number, you get plus or minus 5, right? Because we're dealing with real life stuff, you can't have negative length, can you? So we know now that one of the lengths is 5 centimeters. So to get the volume of a cube or a cuboid is just length times width times height. So we know that all the dimensions are going to be 5, 5, 5. So 5 times 5 is basically 5 cubed to find the volume, which is 125 centimeters cubed. That's the final answer. Let's move on, everybody. Okay, everybody. For question number 4, we have a typical frequency polygon question, right? A typical frequency polygon graph. And I just want to give a big shout out to Samaya, who has just reminded me that you take the midpoints for the rainfall, right? So I got confused with cumulative frequency graphs where you don't take the midpoint, right? So you just take the n values, the higher values, right? So the midpoint here, so this is very easy. We just have to plot the graph, right? So this is 2.5, right? For this is 7.5. For this is 12.5. For this is 17.5. And for this is 22.5. Now, at this point, you just have to plot. So it's very easy. That's why it's worth 2 marks, right? So you have to go. So it's the rainfall in millimeters. So it's 2.5 to 8. You have to be very careful here. You have to make sure that you do it properly. Now, of course, I'm doing this on a computer. So I do apologize if it looks a bit dodgy. And I also want to remind you of what generally a frequency polygon looks like. It looks like this, right? Just YouTube any video on it. I'm sure this is a very easy topic. You can learn it in like literally 5 minutes, okay? So it's supposed to look like this, right? And remember, with frequency polygon graphs, you always start, like when you connect the points, you always start from here, not from like you don't go like that. Do you know what I mean? So these are technically a bit wrong, at least for GCSE. They're definitely wrong. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is from like America or something, but this is how we do it here in the UK. Okay, we start from, I'll show you now. Let me show you. So I'm going to quickly pause the video and plot all the points. Once you got all the points down, guys, all you need to do is connect them using a ruler. Guys, you need to use a ruler. And don't start from here and do that. No, because technically this, this is not a point on the graph, on the data. It's not. So you start from here and all you have to do with a ruler, very carefully, is connect all the points. And there we go. We've got our frequency polygon graph. And that's how easy it is. I'm pretty sure this is correct. Let's move on, everybody. Okay, for this question here, guys, I do apologize if I make mistakes. I'm parkouring some of these questions, meaning that I've never seen them before. I'm just doing them with you now. So it might take me a bit of whatever. So it says that you've got this set here that contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And set A is equal to all the odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And set B is equal to all the square numbers. So 2, 4, sorry, to all the square. Oh, I was about to get bamboozled. To all the square numbers. So the only square number here is 4 and 9, isn't it? Right? I mean, 1 squared is technically 1, right? Right? 1 squared is technically 1. So I guess we should include that. All right? So 149. So then it says complete the Venn diagram for this information. A number is chosen at random from the universe. Oh, we need to complete the Venn diagram. I am sorry. I was about to mess that part up. So in A is 1. Oh, no, 1 goes in the middle because it's in both of them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So because 1 is in the middle, it goes in both of them. So it goes in the middle. So then we got 3, 5, and 9 also. You see 9 is in both of them. So 9 also goes in the middle. So 3, and you shouldn't really put commas there. So 3, 5, 9 goes in the middle as well. 3, 5, 7 goes here. And then 4 just goes here. And any number that's not used goes in the outside box. So what hasn't been used? 2 hasn't been used. 3 has been used. 4 has been used. 5 has been used. 6 hasn't been used. 7, 8 hasn't been used. And 10 hasn't been used, right? Right? Did I do this correct, everybody? Now, I'm pretty positive this is all correct. A number is chosen at random from the universe set. Find the probability that this number is in the set B. So B has, so it's only 3 out of how many? So there's only 3 choices we can make out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh my God, these examiners. Wow. Imagine if you're rushing and you didn't see that. So this little comma that you see after it basically means not B. So everything that's not in B. That's crazy, man. So this is set theory if you guys didn't know. So if I write A with a little comma, it means not A. That's messed up. So everything that's not in B, basically. So 3, 5, 7 is not in B, and these are also not in B. So the probability is 7 over 10. And I'm pretty sure that's correct. Let's keep going. Okay, question number 6. They're just giving away marks at this point. Describe the relationship between the age and the weight of the babies. So the scatter. So hold on, before I rush this, right? The scatter graph shows information about the ages and weights of some babies. So if this is the weight on the x-axis, on the y-axis we have the weight. So on the x-axis we have the age in months, I believe, right? Because a baby is technically under 12 months, right? So anything more than 12 months, it becomes a toddler, right? So the relationship is, for 1 marker, you're supposed to use the term positive correlation. And you have to describe it. So you can't just chill there. And I think you should get 1 mark for this, but just because of my OCD, which is no joke, I shouldn't be making a joke about that. Because of my overthinking, positive correlation, the older the baby, the more it weighs. That's more of a description, isn't it? Right, guys? Like you saying positive correlation, I guess. But if you say the older the baby, the more it weighs. And I would say, I would even, just because of my overthinking, just because I really want this mark, I would say that if you write that, but move on though. Suppose you're in an exam, don't spend time rubbing out. Move on. Okay? The older because it's not worth that 1 mark. The older the baby in months, the more it weighs in kilograms. The more it weighs in kg. That's my overthinking. Okay. Sir, if they said state, then you would just say positive correlation. Thank you, Samaya. If they just said state, then yeah, maybe you could just put positive. But because these brothers have said describe and sisters, they're serious. They want you to write this. Another baby has a weight of 5.8 kilograms. Using the scatter graph, find an estimate for the age of this baby. So the reason why this is 2 marks, exactly, Samaya, you need a line of best fit. And I always struggle with these, so I'd rather just pause the video and then play it and then resume whenever it's there. Actually, guys, I want you to watch me struggle just so you have a good idea of what it's done, the way it's done. The way I usually like to do it is that I know that the same amount of, and do this with a pencil, so if you mess up, you can go back. The way I would usually do it is you're trying to basically get the same amount of data above the line and below the line. So suppose if we do it like there, right? So just do a very, just leave your ruler there and start counting the X's. So you see on above the line, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 above the line, and it's sharing 3. And below the line, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you know you're way off. So you're going to have to kind of adjust your thing, don't you? Right? So like this maybe. So I've put it there now. Let's start counting. So leave your ruler there at right now. Don't draw anything. Just leave your ruler there and see how this goes, okay? So now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 above the line. And below the line, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so at this point, I start to panic and I need to pause the video until I get it correct. Okay, I've finally done it. It doesn't have to be exact, but it just has to be very good. Like my one, if you look now, I've adjusted my ruler and I've got roughly 12 above and roughly 12 below the line. Now that, my friends, is a beautiful line of best fit. Okay? So now to find, so now to go to answer the question, that's worth 1 mark. You go to 5.8, which I believe is here. Right? That's 5.8. And you go across, right? By the way, guys, I'm doing this on a computer, so bear with me. You go across until you hit your line of best fit. And then you go down, which I've kind of messed up, but there you go. It's very hard to see on a computer. But you guys are going to do this more accurately than I. So there we go. So the line, what is that? 3.8 months? Can you say 3.8 months? 3. What's 8 over 4 as a fraction? Sorry, 8 over 12. What is it simplified to? 2 over 3. 3 and 2. I'm just going to say 3.8 months. I don't know what the exact... it says find an estimate. I hope they accept 3.8 months. Say 4. I don't know, man. That's not 4, yo. It says estimate, so say 4. I'm just going to leave it as 3.8. 3. Now, I'm going to leave it as 3.8. Definitely do not do this. Do not do that. Because you will lose marks. Right? So I'm going to leave mine as 3.8 months. I don't have the mark scheme in front of me, but you guys get the point. Be as accurate. So that's 3, 3.2, 3.4, 3.4, 3, 3.6, 3.8. All right? Okay, everybody, let's move on. And by the way, my line of best fit looks pretty good. So this should be accurate. Let's move on, everybody. Question 7, everybody. Please pause the video. Have a go at this question. Whenever you're ready for the answers, you can press play. Okay, for this question here, now, if I say so myself, I feel like I know a 200 IQ move for it. Okay? I know there are a few different ways of doing it, but this is the way I would do it. But I'll be well embarrassed if I'm actually wrong. Because I don't actually have the mark scheme in front of me. So I think this should, whatever I'm about to do, is correct. So what I would do, I don't know what the original price was. I'm just going to call it X. But then it's been increased by 20%. So I'm going to times it by 1.2. And then it equals 240. But then you have to solve an awkward equation. You have to solve for X. But 1.2 can be written as a fraction. And the fraction is 6 over 5. Because basically it can be written as 12 over 10, which then equals to 6 over 5, equals 240. So then what you have, x, put it over 1, you have 6x over 5 is equal to 240 pounds, right? And then you times both sides by 5, which gives you 6x gives you 1,200. And then you divide both sides by 6. And so the original equals, Imal, please don't mess up. What is the answer? It's equal to 200 pounds. That looks wrong, man. That just seems wrong. Okay, I gotta pause the video here. Yo, I'm so embarrassed. I mean, I could technically edit this out, but for the memes, I won't. Because it just seems wrong. But it kind of doesn't seem wrong. Okay,
so
look.
20% increase of 200 isn't 240.
No, this 20% increase adds 240 pounds on top of the price. I've read the whole question wrong. Like, I've read the whole question wrong. I didn't even read the question properly, so I am going to edit this out because this is a bit messed up now. The price of a holiday increased by 20%. This 20% increase adds 240 pounds to the price of the holiday. I thought that was the final price. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was completely wrong. So work out the price. So actually, I'm going to keep this edit in for everybody to realize if I've just done it wrong and I'm not even under exam conditions, right? If I've read the question wrong out of purely rushing and I'm not even under exam conditions, imagine if you're under exam conditions, you're going to make mistakes. So make sure you take it easy and you chill. Okay? Just chill and read it properly. Now, because this is the increase-decrease question, the first thing I want to look at is there's this formula I know that is change is over old times 100 equals the percentage change. But the fact that this question is a non-calculator question, I'm a bit nervous for using this formula. But let's see. Let's do some problem solving and see how it goes. And I'm not unmuting kids in the chat at the moment. It's because I want those who are watching to go through the same process. So I want to show them, like, you know, how I get to the answer. So work out the price of the holiday before the increase. So there was some change, right? And I really got to think here. So there was the change, which you usually do the original or whatever it is, original, take away old. So I'm just going to bring in algebra here. Over 100 times 100. Oh, no, sorry, not over 100. Over old. That's the formula, isn't it? Times 100 gives you the percentage change. And the percentage change here is 20%, but there's an increase. So I'm not sure if I should put, yeah, let's just put 20 because it gives you the percentage change, doesn't it? Right? Original versus take away new. Sorry, guys. You know what? I'm going to edit this out anyway. So guys, let me just start this question again, okay? Because I really want the recording to be super nice, okay? So 3, 2, 1. Okay. So as I said, I'm nervous about using this because, well, it's a calculator question. Sorry, 3, 2, 1. So I don't really want to use this, but I think I have no other choice. And the reason why I don't want to use this is because it's a non-calc paper. And these questions, these type of questions usually come in a calculator paper. But let's just keep going. Hopefully I'll be saved here. So the formula is the change. So usually you get the original, take away the new price, or whatever it is, whichever way round. You just need a positive number there, right? And then you divide that by the original times 100, and that gives us our percentage change, which in this case is 20%. So what I'm going to try to do is just slowly fill in the values. So this adds a 240 pounds increase on top of the original, what it used to be. So it's gone up by 240 pounds. So the change is 240. So now you see I've got a full-on equation here. I've got 240 over the original, which I don't know. I'm supposed to count, work that out, which is over X times 100 equals 20. Right? So at this point now, you've got an equation. So what's the best way to solve this? And I think the best way to solve this is to times out the whole equation by X. So what you're going to end up having, now actually, you're going to mess yourself up. Let's not do that. Let's divide. Let's first of all fix this. So you're going to get 240 times, if you put it over 1. So 240 add 2 zeros over X equals 20. Right? Does everybody get that? So I've just done 240 times 100. And then I'm going to times both sides by X, which is going to give me 240,000. Sorry, it's going to give me 24,000. I do apologize. It's going to give me 24,000 is equal to 20X. Then I divide both sides by 20. So these 20s cross out. These will cross out. And so I've got 2,400 divided by 2. So if I'm not wrong here, the answer should be 1,200 pounds. That's that. I got that without doing all of that. Okay, I understand if you guys got the answer in a much simpler way, but this is the method I'm going for. This is the way I want to do it. You guys probably done the, I don't know what way could have you probably done.
It's much.
My boy Saleh has come on the mic and he's pretty much put me to shame. So do you know why this video is funny now? And I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to leave it the way it is. I came on the mic doing this question saying I've got a 200 IQ move, which then turned out to be wrong. And then I done another method, which took forever. And then my boy Saleh just comes on the mic and says, if 20%, I forgot his method. Oh, I think it's something like if 20% equals 240, then 10% equals, yeah, if 20% of that, whatever it is 240, then 10% will equal 120. So 100% will equal 1,200. I said that at the start. Yeah, but you see, my head still can't be wrapped. I don't get this. I get it kind of because it's, no, I get it. I get it. 20%. No, I still don't get it, man. I still don't get it. Smed, I mean, if you're going to be on YouTube, so do you get this? Do you get this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, you get it? I personally don't understand. So it's simple. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's move on. I don't want to be spending ages on just question 7. And it's worth 2 marks. Wow. Wow. Actually,
Well done.
if it's worth 2 marks, it is this, isn't it? Let's move on. Okay, everyone. So for question number 8, it's worth 3 marks. Now, this question at first could seem difficult, especially because you're dealing with pi. And so you might end up just messing yourself up because you start your calculations like the way I did and think, oh my God, I don't have a calculator. What do I do? But trust yourself and keep going, and you should come out with a solution. So look, everybody, we've been asked to work out the pressure on the floor due to the cylinder. Now, everyone listen. First, let's quickly understand the formula. Pressure is equal to force over area. So force over what? The area of this bit here. So what we've been given the force. So we've been asked to calculate the pressure. We've been given the force, which is 90. We just have to find out the area, which is very difficult, especially without the radius, because the area of a circle is pi r squared, but we don't have the radius, so we have to find the radius. Well, they've kind of given us a clue by giving us the volume. Remember, the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared. Basically, you find out the area of the bottom circle, and you just have to find the space inside, you just times it by its height. Okay? I'm just going to give a quick plug for my website. Guys, I do tutor on tutor365.net. If you don't know how to do these things on the website, you have literally videos of every possible topic you need to know about, depending on when you're watching this video. Okay, so that's that. So you got pi r squared times height. Okay, that's the volume of this cylinder. Okay, this is the volume of the cylinder. We've been and we know it equals to 1,200. That's the formula for the volume of a cylinder, and we know it equals to 1,200. So pi times r squared, which we don't know what it is, we don't know what r is, times the height, which we've been given, which is 40, and that is equal to 1,200. I'm going to need some space here. Okay, now what do I do? Well, now I'm going to divide both sides by 40. And what that's end up going to, that's what that's going to end up canceling these. So now pi r squared is equal to 1,200 divided by 40. Cancel the zeros. You got 120 divided by 4, which is 30. Now here's the 200 IQ move. I'm joking. I flopped last time. You divide both sides by pi. Yeah? So you divide both sides by pi. Pi's cancel out, and r squared is equal to 30 over pi. Chill, watch, just chill. And then r, right, you square root both sides after.
Yeah.
So your final answer is that the radius is equal to 30 over pi. Does everyone agree?
Yeah.
Now, here's the bit that you really, at this point, you'd probably give up on a question because you're thinking, what on earth do I do with that? In the exam, you don't rub out your working, but I'm going to rub it out because I need space. Now, that's my radius. All I need to do is find the area of this bottom circle. What's the formula for area of a circle? It's pi times r squared. Now, check this out. It's pi times the radius squared. If you square this, you're going to get pi times just 30 over pi. And then you can cancel out the pi's and you're just left with 30. So the radius, the area of that bottom circle is 30 centimeters squared. That's sick, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now the final answer is pressure is equal to 90 newtons over the area. So the pressure is, this is the bit, this is where I panic because I can't do that in my head right now. Oh, it's equal to 3 newtons per centimeter squared. And there we go. That's the answer. Okay? Hopefully that's the answer. I don't have the mark scheme. One of my students, Ibrahim, has come on the mic to embarrass me further. This is probably one of the, I shouldn't even upload this. Ibrahim has reminded me the volume of a cylinder to calculate the area times the height, right? And so that equals 1,200. And my 200 IQ move is what? So the area we don't know, we call it X, times the height, which is 40. And that's equal to 1,200. So then X, the area, is equal to 1,200 divided by 40. So the area is equal to 30 centimeters squared. And we know the force is 90. 90 divided by 30 is equal to 3. And so the answer is 3 newtons per centimeter squared. Let's move on, everybody.